When the temperature drops and the days become shorter, few things taste as good to me as hot homemade soup, particularly when I've been working outside. A few years ago, a friend gave me the recipe from a famous French restaurant for a robust tomato soup, and it's the best I've ever had. It starts with fresh tomatoes, if you can find some with good flavor. Just peel and dice enough to make 4 cups. If you don't have fresh, you may use canned. Pour the tomatoes into a large saucepan along with 4 cups of tomato juice and let this simmer for about 30 minutes. Now for a little flavor boost. One of my favorite herbs to use with tomatoes is basil, so it just makes good sense to use it in tomato soup. Now, one of the easiest ways I've found to preserve or store basil is to chop it and freeze it in ice trays in the form of little cubes like this. It's a great way to take the flavor of summer well into the winter. This recipe calls for 12 leaves, so I'm going to use 4 of these cubes. I just drop them into the cooked tomatoes and let them melt. Then I pour the tomatoes and basil into a blender and blend them until they're smooth. Then I return the mixture to the pan and add 1 stick of unsalted butter, 1 cup of whipping cream, and about 1/4 teaspoon of cracked pepper and salt to taste. Now I'll just heat this through and it'll be ready in a few minutes. With the cream and butter, it's certainly not low-cal, but hey, we've got to live a little. Now, not only will this warm you up on a cold day, it's ideal for serving around the holidays. From the garden, I'm Alan Smith. Now, here's a delicious recipe that's perfect for a cold winter day: sweet potato and hot pepper soup. First, heat 2 tablespoons of olive oil in a large stock pot. Then add 1 small red onion chopped and 2 cloves of garlic. Cook the onion until it's translucent and the garlic is soft. Next, take a pound of sweet potatoes that have been cut into cubes and 1 diced hot pepper with seeds removed, and add that to the container. You'll want to saute this mixture for about 10 minutes. Okay, now it's time to add 4 cups of chicken stock and 3 thyme sprigs, or about 1/2 teaspoon of dried thyme. You want to bring this to a boil, then reduce the heat and simmer until the potatoes are tender. Remove the thyme stems from the mixture and discard it. Next, transfer the soup to a blender and process it until it's smooth. After the soup is thoroughly blended, return it to the pot and heat thoroughly. When I serve this delicious soup, I salt to taste and often add a dash of curry to each bowl. You'll find that this recipe is a simple and tasty one to create and perfect for any occasion. One of the greatest pleasures in winter for me is to slow down just a bit and enjoy some of those hot, savory dishes. I'm preparing one of my favorites, garlic lentil soup. It's a delicious way to warm up those cold, crisp days. Let me show you how easy it is to make. I start with 2 1/3 cups of dried lentils that I've soaked in water overnight. You see, soaking them allows them to cook faster. Then I add about 8 cups of water and about 6 to 7 chicken bouillon cubes and bring them to a slow boil for about 40 minutes. You won't believe what the chicken broth from the bouillon does for the flavor. While the lentils are cooking, I'm going to prepare a sauté. Now, this simply consists of 2 yellow onions chopped, about 1 cup of sliced mushrooms, 1 cup of celery, and garlic, can't forget about that, about 10 cloves. To prepare the garlic, I just peel the skin from the cloves and crush them with a knife before adding them to the sauté. Now, with all the ingredients prepared, I'll sauté this with about 3 tablespoons of olive oil for 10 minutes at a medium heat. Now, once the onions are soft, I'll add the entire mixture to the lentils. As a finishing touch, I'll add some lemon pepper, salt, and a couple of bay leaves. Now, this recipe makes enough to serve 8 to 10 people. And what a delicious and easy way to enjoy the winter. From the garden, I'm Alan Smith. I can't wait to try this soup Matt's made. Hey Matt, look at that. Wow. It's beautiful. I can see the kale.
Thank you.
Oh, my mouth is watering.
The soup's got a light cream base, veggie stock. We started with this garlic and onions. Added the rest of the ingredients. We got some white beans, tomatoes.
Oh my gosh, this is awesome.
Garden kale, potatoes, super hearty soup.
So Matt, I want you to take me through this step by step because I want to make this at home.
Yeah, it's super easy.
You started out with the sauteing the garlic?
Yeah, lightly sweated some garlic and onions.
Just with some olive oil?
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
Over medium heat.
You got the onions and garlic singing together over medium heat. What was the next step?
I'm gonna add the vegetable broth now. You can kick the heat up a little bit. Bring this to a simmer.
You put the full pound of kale in it. Got beautiful color to it. I'm tasting some beans in here as well, and I'm seeing some potatoes.
Yeah, white beans and the potatoes, because that really helps thicken the soup. About 5 red potatoes we used. About a single can of Great Northern white beans. About a single can of diced tomatoes. I believe it's about 15 ounces. Two bay leaves, a tablespoon of salt. Potatoes will soak up the salt really well. Some cayenne pepper. It's about a pound of diced red Russian kale. Bring this back to a simmer. Oh, and Alan, there's also a meat substitute in there.
Really?
Yeah, it's a soy product. That is some of their breakfast sausage.
I was thinking maybe this was turkey or something you put in it.
Yeah, it's a great clean slate that picks up a lot of flavors when you cook with it. You slowly put that in and slowly break it into chunks. And then at the end, we just pureed a little bit of the soup mixture and then added it back in, which really thickened it up nicely.
What a great idea. So you took a portion of what you were cooking, pureed it, and then added it back into this more rustic presentation.
Yeah, and the starch really helps thicken it up. You can puree about 2 cups of the soup. Hit it with a little bit of heavy cream, and it gives like a great richness to the soup.
Devil, heavy cream. It makes everything taste good.
Yeah, it does. It makes it nice and rich.
This is very healthy, and it's completely vegetarian.
Yep.
Guarantee you this, I'm gonna make this at home. This is so good. Thank you for sharing it with me.
Oh, you bet. Thanks for coming out to Schlafly Bottle Works and trying some of our food today.
Good stuff.